How's it going, YouTube? I'm back. I know it's been a while, and I appreciate your all's patience and your continued support. Today, I'm going to change the lower control arms on my daily driver Mustang here, and reason being is because one of the bushings are worn out, but we'll get more into that after a little bit here. See you in a sec. The first thing we need to do is take the wheel off. Let's pause here for a second. Can you tell me what I am doing wrong in this image? I will give you 5 seconds in the video to tell me. Put your answer down in the comments. If you need more time, feel free to pause the video. Oh shoot. I'm using a silver socket. It's supposed to be an impact grade. Oh, let me fix that. You know, safety first. Now it's an impact socket. Works like a charm. No, but in all seriousness, you really should use an impact socket when you're doing stuff like this. Using an impact, I mean. Because the silver ones can shatter and actually blow up on you. And remember, from one of my previous videos, the one I did on the Escape, doing the brakes, take your wheel off and put it under your car. Kind of as a second measure in case it falls, so you don't die, unless you're into that, and then you can talk to me. It'll be all right. Anyways, you like my overspray? That's how you know I did quality work here. All right, so let me bring you in here. This right here, I'll circle it on screen, is what we're going to be replacing. And to do that, we have to loosen that bolt, 2 bolts on that, and the lower ball joint here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, put you in a time lapse. Let's see how long this actually takes me. Tools for this job are really not that complicated. Just a socket set, possibly a wrench set, and a hammer if you needed to get that ball joint off. So I wanted to bring you in for this because I wanted to show you why I absolutely hate working on Fords. It's because their engineering is dog shit. Look at that. How the... Excuse me, I already swore. I'm sorry, but come on. Really? Seriously? Okay, once you get the lower ball joint loose and you get it out of there, hit it at the side with a hammer, and then on the top, like right in here, like that. And it should come pretty easy. If not, find a way, to pry in between here and the bottom of the something solid, you know, pop out. And as you saw by my little meltdown with that bolt, I literally had to take the tie rod off and push it up out of the way to get that stupid bolt out. But while doing that, I discovered this tie rod end not good. So we're going to replace that too. The Pick and Gilla is actually making a parts run for me, so if you appreciate that, please check out her channel. It's called The Pick and Gilla. She is a reseller on YouTube. Just good content. I'm there sometimes too if you like me. So, but I'm gonna put you down. Well, no, I brought you back here for this. I'm doing what's called, it's because they came in the kit, sway bar end links. So sometimes these like to spin, sometimes they have a hex socket, other times they have a little hex head. You can put a little wrench on it. Got my universal wrench there that I'm going to use, and I believe it's an 18 if I can find the wrench. There you are. You basically hold one and you turn the other and just work it out. I don't know if I'm in the way or not, but I'm going to put you guys down and do that, as this takes both hands. And I mean, I'm sure you can figure out how to take a nut off. So if not, I'll do a video on it. All right, we'll be back. This is the part I was talking about replacing a second ago. And what I was talking about is you brace this part with a wrench, and you take another wrench that fits this size, obviously, and you just thread it out until it gets loose, and then you can take this off and do that with it. This is called a sway bar end link for my sister. She wants to learn car parts, so I'll sway bar end link. No, that's too mean. Anyways, but once you get the top one loose or the bottom one loose, whichever you have more room to swing, this is still on the one mount. Grab the bar, yank it, break it, and then you can take a pair of vice grips, clamp it on that baby, and then it won't move. And then you can just take it off normally with a ratchet or whatever you can fit on there, whatever tool you like. So I'm going to continue on. It's starting to get dark, so let's see how far I get. This is the replacement part. Like I was talking before, sometimes they come with a hex key socket. You just put an Allen wrench in there, and then you do the same. These are actually really nice. They even have a place where you can put a wrench there. So if I ever have to change these again, won't be so bad. And these are Detroit axle, just like the brakes I put on my wife's car. And I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with the quality. I mean, the welds are decent. Got grease fittings on them instead of being sealed. Oh, that's something else. When you do an oil change, grease your grease fittings, every single one of them, even if it's just 1 or 2 pumps of grease, and your suspension components will last so much longer. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in. Goes to the shock tower, back through the sway bar, crank her down, and then that will be done for that. And then I'm going to wrestle in the lower control arm and bolt that in. Next time you see me, that will be in. So, and then I'll show you how to do the tie rod end. Something to keep in mind also, anytime you do suspension work, make sure you do all that you absolutely can, because if you mess with something, it's going to change the geometry and you're going to have to get an alignment. So as opposed to fixing one thing, going to get alignment, and then a year down the road having to do it again, just replace it. Trust me, do both sides. You don't have to pay that $150 or whatever it costs these days now. I haven't had one done in a while, so. But I will on this because this has brand new tires. So I'll be back when that lower control arm is in. You put the bolt in here. I don't know if you can see it. It's pretty dark. I'm sorry. Hopefully with the building that'll get fixed. And you put the ball joint in. You slide that pin, this pin right here. I don't know if you can see it. Up into here. And then a bolt goes through here to hold that in place. You can see, here, I'll just bring it out because it's trash anyways. Yeah, see, loose can be. I'll show you how tight they are, supposed to be actually. But you see this divot here? This bolt, where are you at? Right here. Goes through a hole and catches that right there, so it can't pop out on you. So, I'll be back. Okay, different day, different side. I got everything else bolted in on this side, including the sway bar end link. The last thing we have to do is change out this tie rod end. I already loosened it because I had to take it off to get that bolt off that I absolutely hate. Thank you, Ford engineers, and your wisdom of not caring about the techs. You'll find that commonly if you start working on cars. Anyways, so to take this outer tie rod off, first thing we have to do is break this nut loose just a little bit, put a wrench on this collar here, and then rotate it off. And a little trick that the old timers taught me is you actually count the rotations, and it'll get you close enough to where you could drive to an alignment shop and not have your tires chopping. I'll go more into that later, but for now, let me get this off. 1, 2, 3. 19, 20, 21, 22. This car has never been wrecked. That's because they're equal. That's actually a way you could tell if it has had any front end damage. So let me get the other one out of the package. Now you'll notice something different between the new one and the old one. Don't panic. What it is this one has a greaser and this one does not. And the reason being is the new one is actually a sealed ball joint tie rod end. It's called a ball joint, but a tie rod end. I know, confusing, right? Anyways, but it's pre-greased and it doesn't need any additional grease. Just like that, basically I've rebuilt the lower suspension. Now I didn't change the inner tie rod ends which connect to the rack and pinion here because they're good and tight still. But we got new bushings in the back, new bushings in the front, and a new ball joint, new sway bar end links. So this thing should drive a heck of a lot better. The neighbor decided right now is the best time to start mowing, so bear with me, folks. Okay, so I wanted to come over here and do an explanation of all the stuff we changed today. First, we'll start with the sway bar end link. This sits up is on the strut tower on one side and what's called a sway bar on the other side. And basically how it works is it works through torsional force. When the car starts to lean one way in a turn, this actually puts strain on the other side of the car and lifts it so it lays equally through the turn. It creates better handling, obviously, by doing that. The next thing is the tie rod, outer tie rod. And this basically is what connects your steering knuckle to your rack and pinion or drag link assembly, whatever you have in your vehicle. Every vehicle has one of these, 2 of these I should say, at least. Some have, if they're 4-wheel steering, have 4, but I don't have any of those, so I can't show you that. But this part right here, very important to be good, to stay in good condition. This one still has a little bit of torsion in it, but when you do suspension components, do them equally because they wear equally. The last thing is this lower control arm. This right here ties to the car's frame, and the strongest shape in nature is a triangle. Boom, 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 a triangle. So how it works is it triangulates your spindle so it keeps it in place in the X, Y, Z axis. Well, the Z axis is done by the strut, but the X and Y axis is controlled by this. It keeps it nice, steady, tight, and so you don't feel it going around turns and stuff like that. If you're starting to feel vibration, check this first right here. As you can see, this is really loose, and I was hearing all kinds of clunking and stuff. That's why I just went ahead and changed the whole arm on both sides. As you can see by this side, it's a little bit tighter. That's almost about half-life. So if you have any questions, put it down in the comments. I love interacting with you guys, And I would love to answer any questions you have about these parts or really anything. Tell me how your day is, you know? Hi, Pickingilla, also known as Heidi, my wife. I want to thank you for running and get those tie rod ends twice.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain what happened, or should I?
No, you go ahead.
Okay. What happened was I called a certain parts store. I couldn't name which one because I'm not sponsored by any of them, and I don't think I ever will be, but you know. And they told me the price of the outer tie rod ends, because I discovered them while we were working on it, were $38. So I'm like, okay, can you put those on the counter and I'll either run it or I'll have my wife go pick them up, kind of deal. Well, apparently they grabbed the $46 ones. So they got back. Heidi's like, it was $90. I'm like, what? It shouldn't have been, even with tax. So I said, well, we run back or not, kind of deal. I said, it's up to you, kind of deal. So she just took off with them, went and exchanged them for the $38 ones, and then she brought back a pizza to surprise me for the difference of the price, which was really cool, I think, especially after being out there late at night, not having to cook. It was awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But
you should have told me the price, though. You didn't tell me.
Yeah, I was in a hurry, kind of deal. It was getting dark, and you can't film at night and all that. But so I'm gonna speak to you as like a summary kind of deal. Tell the class basically what we learned today.
Okay.
So today we changed lower control arms, which included the two bushings that hold it to the frame and the lower ball joint. We changed outer tie rod ends and talked about how to somewhat keep it aligned, but you still need to go get it aligned, kind of deal. And then we also changed sway bar end links, which connect the sway bar to the struts. So I think it was a pretty productive vehicle. I think the kids learned something. What do you think?
Probably.
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 What does Mr. Lizard think?
Mr. Lizard says, you did a good job, Donnie.
Oh, well,
You're
thank
a
you.
hard worker.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Lizard. Anyways, but I want to thank you all for watching. I love the fact that when you guys comment, like I said earlier. Oh, wait, that was the other video. Yeah, I did 2 videos in the same day, so I'm getting confused here. But, yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I also mention the fact that the days after I upload a video, first thing I do in the morning is I check YouTube, see if there are any comments, how many views, kind of deal. And I love responding to you guys. I love going back and forth. Even if it's just to tell me how your day is going, please put a comment down there. You know, isn't it great?
My day is going awful. Just respond. That's great.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that. Have a cookie.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean,
Yeah.
most time you get nice comments on a lot of YouTube videos. You got a few haters usually. Every YouTuber does.
Yeah. I haven't had a hater yet.
Well, that's good. I have.
Yeah. You've also had creepy guys on your channel. I don't get creepers on me. I must not be attractive.
You're cute. You just don't have you don't get a lot of views yet.
Yeah. But thank you guys for watching. I think we've dragged this out long enough, so I hope you watch the next one, and I hope you subscribe. It helps me. It helps my family out a lot. And you all have a wonderful day. Thank you very much.